Good morning.
Thank for, if I wanted to introduce, like, who the heck are these people? I know, Luke, did you introduce them a little bit?
I introduced Trent to Jackson. But that's about it.
Okay, so like, who are these five good-looking, well-dressed, not that much older? Three, at least. Not much older, but definitely somewhat older than me, gentlemen here in the room. So these are five of the district managers in Florida United. Okay, and they're coming here to cross-train, and it's a similar concept as if you were to go on, let's say, who's number one in the office? If you were to go with Luke, Laughlin, or Jack, or Nicole, or Lexa, and you're at like 3K in sales, and you want to go with someone who's almost at 20 or 30, you go field training, right? And so this is them field training with us in the pilot, because these are all new district managers. Orlando is actually in his second summer as a district manager, right? So and what's cool about Orlando is he's not super new, but he's willingly coming over from Fort Myers to sit in here for the weekend and to learn from the pilot. They're going to watch how we run training, because we have the highest productivity right now in the company. And they're going to watch how we manage reps the first weekend, and they're here to watch you guys too. So that's Orlando running Fort Myers. And then the other four gentlemen just opened up their district offices after doing cut through college. And some of them, not in school, some of them finishing colleges, some of them here for career, some of them using this for stepping stone. But we have Brandon, who runs Lakeland / Polk County over there. We have Jackson, for those of you that have ever been to Florida State, he runs the Tallahassee office. We have Sean, who runs over the office over in Ocala, Florida. Then we have Tyler, who runs over on the West Coast, Pasco Hernando, which is right between Clearwater and Tampa ish area. Ish. Is that? Okay. So first of all, let's do lightning quick. You know me, lightning quick. What's hot? What do you appreciate to get things rolling here? And then I'll start, and she gets you out of here no later than 10:15, because I know you guys have some demos, and we'll go from there. So, Mr. Low Energy, Lewis.
What's hot is the fact that I'm here and I have the ability. What I appreciate is just the support I've been getting from the team recently.
Excellent. Nicole, Nick Rod.
Okay, so it's hot just being able to just really, how do you say it in English? Really just take advantage of the entire day. And what I appreciate is not splitting up my
How about in Portuguese? How would you say it?
Aproveitar, like
To enjoy. In Latin, we call it
to
carpe
like
diem.
really take advantage of it.
Yeah, Mr. Latin.
Like carpe diem?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
In Espanol? No?
No,
You speak
no,
Spanish?
no.
Okay, so
Carpe
Portuguese.
Yeah, but pode
World Cup. No, okay. Gianna.
What's hot? Just being here, being invited, it means a lot to me.
Yes.
And I really appreciate the Game Master for not separating or
Yeah,
beautiful.
the Game Master is gonna mess with you all.
Truly.
push. No,
Yes.
What you just sample, you think is like a homemaker complete of messing with you? That's like a starter set. Like you don't even know what you don't know of how he can flip the points on you. But thank you.
What's hot? Kind of being late today. And what I appreciate is actually have the opportunity to actually hook you guys up Monday for Brazilian breakfast. Probably.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's like pan de bono.
Yeah. Biscuit.
So you're gonna hook it up, huh?
I'm gonna try, but it depends if they're open.
I don't like if you're late, but if you're gonna hook it up, you can be late like that. That's okay. Alexa.
What's hot? We are coming to like the most important part of the push, like the last, like down to the wire.
We are.
And then what I appreciate is my family not getting mad at me for not seeing them for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Can I give a quick tip on that? You cool with that? So this isn't going to be your only push in your career if you're with us through college. Like there are 6 pushes a year. And one of the things you'll get better at, like watch Andy. You see how Andy's just killing it. It's like nothing for him. But, he's done this 150, 200 times. I don't know how many times. And part of it is when you prep your friends and family, but really know how to prep them the right way. And honestly, I'll tell you, when I was doing pushes, not my first one, like you guys were just, like I sold my soul to what did you call it, Cultco last night?
Well, you should.
But what I'm saying is, ready? I think the first one's a mess. Just like your first weekend. Remember your first weekend of appointments and phone time, like that. Remember your first phone time? It was like, okay, you made like 7 calls and thought that was a lot. Remember that? Okay. So eventually you'll learn how, and these guys have done it all the time, you'll learn how to prep your friends and family more accurately. And you'll even put in the family time in there. Like when I was pushing in my sophomore and junior year of college, I wasn't stressed about going to church. I wasn't stressed about family brunch. I wasn't stressed about my girlfriend at the time. I wasn't stressed about my workouts because those made priority, and I still crushed the pushes. And this is actually ties into what we're going to talk about in the fall for school. Okay, thanks, Alexa. Miss
Um,
Ariel.
what's hot is being invited to this meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate not being traded off my team.
Who got traded?
All the
Alex.
Alex.
All
All
the
the Alexes and
Alexes.
Lucas.
That makes sense. Alex and Lucas because of the
Alex,
algorithm.
Alex,
Alex, Lucas.
Alex, and Lucas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lucas, you're up.
What's hot is, well, obviously getting invited to this meeting, learning a bunch of new things for coming up fall. And what I appreciate is my mom filling my tank because I was a long guy this morning.
Nice. Thanks, Mom. David, how about you? Quick.
What's odd is it's a new training class, and I'm excited to see what the fall staff comes to bring to this table because I'm here in the fall and I want to see what we can do together.
Yeah, well, I'll mention that, but I want to see what we can do together. How about that? I'll be here. That's a new concept for most people in
That
life.
is.
What is it like for Jeff to be here year round? I don't know. I don't even know. Okay. Luke, we'll wrap up with you, and then I'm going to roll here.
What's hot is, I love seeing the foundation of the pilot every single year. I leave to go back to Bill, and you got to leave it in. Dave's always good hands to leave it in, but you guys are the foundation. So it's there.
Yeah, okay. Here's what I want to start with. So, and guys, you can just observe. I want to say that first and foremost, it's really cool to see that you guys started all but how many weeks ago, and now and it's not definite, but you have the opportunity to be quote unquote a manager on staff in this office. I think that's really cool, and I wouldn't downplay that. Like 3 of you said, I think it's hot that I'm invited. That is really hot. Like that's really hot. It doesn't mean you're going to be on staff. Doesn't mean you want to be on staff. It just means you've done enough. 3 things have to go into play for you to be here. Number 1, what's the first thing that's not even in your control?
Yeah, we are going to school.
That you're local,
Yeah.
right? And then that has nothing to do with you, but you just happen to go to school where you'll either live at home or you'll live in Broward County, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So we have local. Where are you going to school, BC?
NSU.
Ah, Nova. Okay. And then you're going to live in
FIU.
Hollywood, but down to FIU. You're going to be
In Boca Raton, FAU.
FAU,
You would
UM, but close enough, right?
probably Christian.
FIU.
FIU, okay, but all local. And we have a few more people who can't make it. That's why we're doing this video, okay? Second thing, you have to have consistent sales. You don't have to be number 1, but consistent enough. And if you're an alliance, we consider that to be the case. Number 3, good attitude, someone we'd want to work with, okay? So I want to encourage you to take a ton of notes, and that way you have all the information. My objective of this meeting is to give you the information of why you'd want to be on staff, what it entails. At the end, you're going to text Luke if you're interested. And if you're interested, Luke's going to have a conversation with you, and then I'll talk about a deadline of how we're going to make decisions. My goal is that by the 2nd week of August, we know who's probably going to be on staff. And more importantly, we're going to start training you to be on staff in August. Because after the push, you should have better skills. You should be able to work around things better, do less appointments and make more sales, and then also work in some of the training. Cool? Okay, first thing. Let me talk about staff. Currently, here's what we have structured. Okay, you have me. In a nutshell, who can tell me what's my responsibility?
With all the officers.
Yeah, Florida, and the Caribbean, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, which I'm going to on Tuesday. Okay. Then I have my right-hand man or woman. In this case, it's a very strong man. Strong man like bull. What movie? Borat. Come on.
Alright. Here's making a new movie.
Okay. Pilot sales manager. So essentially, they're the right-hand person. When I'm not here, they're in control. Got it? Then underneath that, you have the district office manager, the DOM. Okay. And several of these guys have been DOMs in their career. Okay. The DOM essentially is the number 1 head guy to Luke in this case. So we'll put Luke's name. Here, it's David. Okay. Now, if you're in a district office, if you're not in the division manager's office, their office, the only thing different is that it goes like this, and you take out Luke. They don't have a pilot sales manager, they just have a DOM. And then from there, we have part-time assistants, full-time assistants, and selling assistants. Okay, and I want you to make this diagram so you can see something. Okay? And currently we have Malcolm, we have Erica, okay? We have Josie, we have Mila, okay? And then right now we don't have any selling assistants right now. I'll talk about what each of them do. Okay, so we'll put duties. time, pay, then why. Okay, so duties, time, pay, and why what position would be good for someone. Okay. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
So let me put in red what's going to happen for the fall. And you guys have heard this already, but just to make it official. So Luke will be replaced by David. Because Luke's going up to UF, and he's actually going to. I just thought about the squad from United that's going to UF this year. It's really like Amy Rod.
Pretty rad.
Yeah, Rod. Okay, rad. So this will be David taking over the ship. So he'll report to me directly, and he'll kind of oversee everything. That's open. Okay, and we're not going to put anyone in going into the fall, but this will be a position, the Dom position, that we will let people compete for. And I think as early as October, as late as November, we're going to promote a Dom. Okay, so we'll say October/November. And they would become the direct second in command to Luke. Okay. And then, right? These are the openings I'm looking to fill right now, because we'll have some part-time, and actually this as well. Okay, questions so far? All right. Now let me put a third color. So this is fall, spring. Thank you again, Alex. Thank you again, Raph. Thank you, Gianna. How about some Cuban breakfast, man?
I was literally thinking about bringing it.
I was literally just saying it. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
We need some empanada. We need some pan de bono. Do you call it pan de bono or pan de queso?
Pão de queijo.
Yeah.
A little coffee. It's the same as like pan tostado. It's the same thing. It's like the Brazilian version. Kind of. Well, it's the Brazilian version in the sense that I like to dip it in coffee. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's not talk about food. Summer, okay? So as far as summer goes, right now, I'm interviewing people for this position. Now, no one here would be would be Luke next summer. You're too new, okay? But something to look forward to maybe in the future years. This is usually an ex-branch manager, someone who's already run an office, or someone who's been a district office manager. In some rare cases, someone who's been an assistant, but with me. Like, for example, right now, Kate Arbuthnot is currently a division manager. Just had her first baby. It's really cool. She's a division manager. She runs the whole area that I left, which is Maryland, D.C., Delaware, Virginia. And she started with me. She was my assistant one summer, and then she became the pilot sales manager the next summer. Then I have Luke. Luke was a branch manager, and he was the number 2 branch manager in our division, so I wanted to train him, and he became the pilot sales manager. And in some cases, I've had people where they were the Dom and became that. Why do I say that for you? Because for you, I would put down this could be something for possibly 2020, 21, or 2022. And let me give you the quick 10-second version of this. If you are the pilot sales manager, you are the number 1 TLA trained person in all of Florida United. You're one of the top 42 college students in the country, and you're training essentially to go out and become a top-notch, high-powered, top 10% district manager. And that's what Luke's currently in training for. Right? Luke, let me give an example. I just had a division manager meeting with the 6 guys that run the entire East Coast, and we spent 20 minutes talking about Luke. I didn't tell you that. So, we spent 20 minutes talking about Luke, what we see for him, and what kind of role we can see him playing in the region this next summer when he runs his own office. Okay. Over here, the person who is the Dom for the fall, okay, is usually head in line for that, but doesn't have to be, because the person who's the Dom is going to be so trained, they also may want to run a high-power branch. That's a big thing too, okay? And then, of course, the rest, the reason I put a question mark is because the people who are assistants here are trained so well that they either stay on to the staff here, or if they're really excited about getting it going, like Eric Palacio started last summer, went to Tallahassee, was a full-time assistant, and now he's running the number 2 branch in Aventura in the entire division. They're selling like $30,000, and he's beating, a lot of other offices, and he just started last summer. So we don't know what that's going to entail, but here's what I do know. When you have this under your belt in the fall, when you have this under your belt for the fall, you get a lot of training. Okay, so far so good. So I'm looking essentially right now to fill these positions. I'll stop there. Any questions on this? Okay. So here's the significance, and I'm not going to write this on the board, but a couple of things I think that are important. Or actually, maybe put it here. Why? When you're an assistant, part-time or full-time, okay, first of all, I'm going to put an arrow up and then TRN, which stands for training. Why don't you write that increased training? I'm assuming you guys are gunning for TLA. And if you get into TLA, who remembers? There are 3 things we teach you how to manage. Yourself, time, money, people, energy. Not 3, there's 5. So time, sorry. Managing yourself, managing other people, money, and energy. Those are the 4. Because time is yourself. Right? So managing yourself, I would write this down. In TLA, you'll manage yourself, you manage others, learn to manage energy, learn to manage money. Everything else falls under those 4 categories. You can ask, and I would encourage you, if you don't have a demo, ask some of these district managers who, some of them are just out of college, and some of them, what's everyone's age? 23? 20? 25. The old guy. 25. Oh, can you even walk?
22.
22?
21.
21, right? So we have young district managers here, not too far from you. So increased training. You learn how to manage people, yourself, money, and energy. That includes time. That includes public speaking. That includes finances. When you're an assistant in the fall and spring, you have that, but accelerated. Here's why. TLA has a weekly training and a monthly training. The monthly training is like our family reunion. Like the whole division comes back together, and we do it in hubs. So you guys will just come back to Fort Lauderdale. Sometimes people take the road trip, and I'll do one where I go to Tallahassee, and you can either stay here or go to Tallahassee, visit some friends, and come to the prep. Or you can go to the UF one when I'm running the UF. But bottom line, once a month, the whole division gets together. And then once a week, we have like an hour-and-a-half session that I run. And I will actually be running it this year. How crazy is that? Can you imagine a TLA where I run it? Yeah, how crazy is that? Who knew? What's it like? Jesus. I'm just never here normally. So the advantage is that while other people in TLA are learning management skills, and we'll teach you how to run an interview. We'll teach you how to set personal recruits. We'll teach you how to manage and coach reps. We'll teach you how to run a team meeting. But if you're on staff, you're doing it. Right? It's not theory. And you can write this down. TLA, this has to do with training. TLA equals, I'll put WB for winter break. You fill in the rest. TLA gets to work on the skills during winter break. Okay? Staff, if you're on staff, you get to work on the skills we teach in TLA as soon as possible. That's the difference. So let me give you an example. I'll use Eric as an example. When Eric went to Tallahassee, he was coming to the monthly and the weekly TLA, learning all these skills. Everyone in his class, minus Kirsten, they didn't get a chance to run an interview, coach reps, all PRs until like November, December, January. Eric was running his first interview by the end of September. He was setting PRs first week of September. And now that's why he outranked people to run a branch office. Okay. Second thing, you will sell more when you're an assistant. And it's by accountability. For example, if we have a home gym at our new condo, right? It's a nice gym, but Heidi and I are registering for a place called Elevate. It's like a actual gym you have to pay money to go to. We're going to work out more there. Why?
It's
Motivation.
Because your motivation and convenient. Actually, it's not convenient because we have to drive instead of just going downstairs.
There's an expectation that you have to reach.
You're about to pay.
Right, I'm paying for it. Right, and I'm contracted. I'm registered. So you'll sell more because of that, because there's a weekly sales requirement to stay on staff. Okay. Also, this is just me being me, but I promise you'll have more fun than the rest of the team. You guys ever pay attention to the staff? You ever see them having fun like all the time? Sometimes too much. But that's my style. I like to have too much fun all the time. Okay. Also, why being on staff? Okay. You'll have better options for summer of 19. You'll have better options for summer 19. Here's what I'll say. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Almost like a TLA interview, but the whole point of getting into TLA is not deciding what you want to do next summer. The whole point of TLA is just to get into the freaking TLA, and then going through it will help you decide And by January, we'll know what's the best track. Next summer, should you sell full time? Next summer, should you be an assistant? Should you be a dom? Should you run a branch office? But for me, I've always said to have the best options. So what should I train for? If I want to have the most options, what should I train to do for next summer? What's the biggest and highest responsibility of all the things I just listed?
Yes.
Ready? Running a branch. Like running your own office, it's all on you. You run the whole show. I don't care if you want to run. Two of you said, hey, Jeff, sign me up yesterday. I want to be a branch. Some of you are like, oh, I could see myself doing it like Eric. And some of you are going, I could never do that. Ready? Get into TLA and train to be a branch. So next summer, when we go, hey, what are you interested in? You can pick what you want versus you only have 2 or 3 options instead of 5. You guys see that? So think of it this way. When you go to college, you go to UM, University of Miami, you go into the U, the school U, right? You know how some people, who's already in college? You know some people, they go into college and this is my major and I'm going to be a doctor and that's it. But then they change their major halfway through. And then there's some people who, I'm going to be a doctor, that's it. And they end up being a doctor, that's it. Like Heidi wasn't planning on being a doctor. She wanted to be a teacher or a chemist. Right? Then she went to Spain, got inspired, now she's a doctor. It's weird.
And she tripled.
And she what?
And she tripled.
That's right. And she tripled her pay. So think about that. Now, when you get into college, the whole point of college is to get in. Maybe you start with a major in mind, but how you end is what's most important. And maybe you go to your first pre-med class and John's the teacher and I go, I don't like this. But then I go to Lucas's business class and go, I never thought about this. I like business. And so you go that direction and you graduate and go into finance. That's how TLA is. You don't have to know what you want to do, but if you get in, you get all the skills and you want to create what? Lots of options, okay? So the advantage of being on staff is that you get higher training, more exposure, better options. I'll stop there for a second. Any feedback from David, from people who've been on staff, from Luke, and even you guys, with the advantages of being on staff?
Well, certainly, from the moment you start being on staff, you really see what it actually takes to run the office. All the things that we've been coaching you guys on, you realize why we were coaching, why we were giving you certain advice. I know some of you have asked, have spoken to some of your coaches before, myself and others, saying, hey, wow, how do you know what to do? How do you know what to say? How do you know whenever we're feeling down, how do you know what to tell us? Is because we practice so much and we teach you more specifically over the fall and spring. You have the time to really be able to work on those skills that when it comes time for the summer, when it's the big, everything is going all off at the same time, you know exactly how to handle it.
Okay. Luke, what are you saying?
I'd say, I kind of told you guys some of this when we sat down and talked about it too, but right now what you do is you are learning and using the knives as a vehicle, right? But management is not necessarily for people that want to be in management. Right? What it is we use management of others as the vehicle instead of the knife. Right? So management is the tool and the avenue for professional development. As opposed, it's like management plays the role, but the knives are for you. Right? I don't think of myself as selling knives, but I do make my money from selling knives. Right? But I teach people to do it. Same thing, but that's what the management do.
Oh, that's a good one. How many of you are on fall spring staff? Most of you, right? Can you say now that you're right to be a district manager, you have to beat everyone. Like they didn't just beat people in college; they beat everyone. Period. And now they're running their own office. And you look at these guys. What 25 is the oldest? Within 1 to 3 years, their average income is 6 figures, and they're driving a free BMW. That's just the material part of it. And we're going on 3 trips a year paid for by the company. SLC, national, and summer trip, and in Jamaica, January. Oh, and Olean. So 5. Sorry,
Vegas.
When you hit it, 6. That's the best trip. Vegas. Woo. Okay. So 6 trips. But what I'm saying is, look, you guys have been assistants, and anything that hasn't been said already of why being a part of staff was so helpful to get where you are?
Well, especially when I was new, it was like, it was 1 out of 75 people on the team, but then when I was on staff, it was 1 out of 6. So I just got one-on-one time with my manager, and I was
more attention. Any other that hasn't been said? Okay. And the last factor of why I think it's exciting to be on staff, it's going to sound like cocky, it's not meant to be, is me. Okay. For the past 8 years of my life, in the non-summer, I usually fly. I live in 2 places. I jet set between 2 cities because my mom, my sister, my brother, all live in the Baltimore, Virginia area. My one brother's in California, and then of course since Heidi moved there in 2015, I've been doing 3 years long distance, and so we'll kick butt for the summer. We'll kick off TLA, then I fly, and I only come down to Florida for monthly TLA preps, 2 staff meetings, and sometimes just for poops and giggles. Like I have a townhouse here that, you know, David has the key and goes into it more than I go. He kind of, it's like checking up on my dog. He checks up on the house, that kind of deal. Okay.
Y'all gonna say like all the spring. Those guys don't even know who Jeff is.
Yeah, I walk in. They're like, "Hey, man, what's up?" Like, "What's up?" He's, "Who are you?" Like, "Jeff." Right? I go, "I'm Jeff, division manager." Right? Versus in the summer, right? I went to Metro Miami office last night. I walked in right when they did their Miami Spartan cheer, and it just this eruption of applause when I walked in. You know, in the fall, I'll walk in. They're like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" It's me, right? Okay. but I want to downplay this. I want to downplay this. It's not because I'm here just for the sake of being me. It's because I'm going to give a lot of energy to this office. Now, I'm not here all the time. In fact, what you're used to in May and June, I'm here less than that. But I'm here way more than I was last fall and spring. So I'm usually here about two, maybe 3 days a week if it's a busy week. But you'll see me often, and we'll have TLA preps, and I'm running them. And the best training you can get is from the best people. So, you know, food for thought. I'll stop there. Next, let me cover essentially what it consists of. Let's start with duties and standards, okay? So a part-time assistant is going to work between 5 to 8 days a week. Just kidding. There's no 8 days. Hello, is this thing on? Thank you. Well, come on, we're gonna get that. Ready?
Sorry.
5 to 8 hours a week, okay? And ready? 5 to 8 hours a week. And a full-time assistant is about 10 to 15 hours a week, okay? And I'm going to put for both, plus Wednesday team meeting, which you already know the deal with Wednesday team meeting and TLA prep. Yeah, so Wednesday team meeting, TLA prep, and phone jams. And how long is the team meeting? Just no phone jam. Hour and a half, okay? TLA, about an hour and a half. Phone jam depends on how much you need. Now, let me also preface this. The fall and spring is way different in terms of how we work than the summer. It is nowhere near the busyness of the summer because now it's super push week. SC2 is the biggest push of the year, and you don't have class, most of you. So what's great about being an assistant, actually, one more thing, is you learn how to manage your time better because you're doing more things, okay? So like roughly, how many appointments would you say Luke says, hey, really, let's make sure you're getting in blank appointments for the week or blank orders? What are the things we talk about all the time? 7 to 10 minimum, right? And get your 4 orders in, right? Get your 4 orders in. It's no different. It's no different, but the time's different. So, for example, I think about working around school, okay? You got classes, you have to be in by a certain time. We have some assistants that only do appointments on weekends only, like really weekend warrior. We have some students that will do Tuesday, Thursday only because their classes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they take weekends off, okay? And then phone jams, you know, Wednesday is usually the big one where you need to book up 5, 10 appointments, and then Sunday if you need it. Here's what I mean. Most of you do Sunday to book the whole week, but if you're not doing any appointments for Cutco Monday through Wednesday, you don't even do anything Sunday other than come in to do your schedule. Go, you know, Paycheck Me, PSP, same thing, okay? Any questions so far on this? Okay. So what are some of the duties? I'm just going to have you list some of these. Like, what would you do between these hours? Number one, we write down campus advertising. Campus advertising. What does that mean? Well, David does we call graveyard shift, where once a week, sometimes twice, our active has evolved, right? Once or twice a week, David will go to campus at like 7 in the morning, and he might have one of you come with him. And what we do is we put posters and advertisements up so that people will apply for the position to recruit. But this, for you guys, most of you won't do that shift with David. Like you might like take turns doing it for the experience. Right? So let's say maybe the 2 of you would go one time. We need 2 people with David, but David usually knows how to do it by himself. The rest of the time, what we'll do is we'll go on campus for about an hour a day during lunchtime. And what we'll do is we'll have you go up to people, and it's really cool. It's called clipboarding. So you'll have a clipboard or an iPad, and you'll just network and talk to people. And you say, hey, anyone looking for work? And let's say I meet Gianna. It's called, hey, you know anyone looking for work? You do? Great. And you give them a business card, right? Give them a little bit of information and say, hey, well, what's a good time I can call you back to set you for an interview? And then what you do is you'll come back to the office, and you'll set those people for a formal interview. Cool. What's cool about that skill? What skill are you learning there?
Socializing.
Part of it, yeah, socializing. But from a business standpoint, what are you learning?
Networking.
Networking and recruiting. Yeah, that's really cool. So that's something that happens. That's campus recruiting. Second thing, ready? Setting personal recruits, setting PRs. So as you know, we have the whole computer program that texts people. Okay. But we also call some lists, like we've called your list. So you'll learn how to do that and set PRs. Ready? Running interviews. That's pretty cool. Like you'll be giving the people the job here or not. Running phone jams and team meetings. And then my top two favorite, coaching reps, and then field training. Okay. As far as pay goes, you will get a percentage off of the office, and it's anywhere between 0.5% up to 1%. Okay. Now, this pay, what's really cool is that you get paid. The sales volume in the non-summer is not as big, but we're going to have, one of the best falls in the company, and we'll ship between 100 if we mess up to 300. It's a big range. So I'll just use this. $100,000 to $300,000. So 0.5% of 100, then they were between 500 and 0.5% of 300 is what? 1,500. Yeah. So a part-time assistant will make an additional $500 to $1,500 to get the work done, to get the training, and so forth. A full-time assistant will make 1,000 to 3,000. Now put plus. Where's the main income come from? Yeah, selling. Okay. This should be 80% of your income. This is 20%. And here's why. This pay gets put directly, and there's no negotiation. This gets put directly into a savings account. Now you can access it if you need, just like your withholdings. But this gets put into savings, and ready at the end of the year in January, you can do one of three things with it. You can either say, Jeff, I want to be a branch manager candidate, and you can put that whole thing towards your branch funding or part of it. Number two, you can take it and pay off expenses. Or number three, you can invest it. We teach how to invest your money. Okay? Questions on that? Most of your sales should be from that. Most of your income. And as far as standards go, depending on your time in the office, we just expect you to do the bare minimum of, if you're a full-time assistant, $500 in sales a week. How many demos does that take?
One or two.
Yeah, right, to be safe, 3 or 4.
That's like an entertainment.
Yeah, three or 4 demos, and then at most 5 to 7 if you screw up. Like if it takes 7, God bless America, seriously. But so what am I saying? I'm saying that, ready? How does that feel compared to right now? That's a day here.
Yeah.
Am I right? So that's why, but ready? You should be at 30% or higher because you're 30 or higher by then. So what's really cool is you'll for real work part-time but make full-time. That's that. Plus you're going to make an additional whatever to save for the end of the year. Cool. Any questions? It's almost like a trust fund, right? You can't touch it until you get to a certain age. Well, this is a trust fund in terms of Cutco where you at the end of the year, you have extra money to invest or to put into your branch. That's what Eric Pelosi did. He had, $1,500 saved over the fall, or $1,000, and he put 800 of it towards his branch, and then another 200 for fund money, actually. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. In general, as far as what days of the week, we usually have more staffing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some Sundays. And then on Thursday, Friday, we don't need as much help because all we're really doing is running training. Okay. So most of the hours here are usually from Sunday to Wednesday. Some Thursdays, some Fridays, some like the weekends, some of it, okay? Just to get a clarity. This schedule will be based on your school schedule availability. Okay. So if you are interested, I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. If you are interested, okay, you got to communicate to Luke as soon as possible. Okay. Also, you have to show sales consistency. So I'm looking to see how you finish the push. Number three, you have to, I want to see your school schedule for the fall. Okay. Would like to see your school schedule for the fall. Anyone not in school? Okay, so then in the fall you're off, right? Perfect. And that might open you up a better opportunity for full-time assistants or for G and Lewis. That's cool. Okay. Be a leader on the team. Be a team builder. And do all the things you'd have to do to get on my radar. Okay. So what I'd like you to do right now, and this can change. You can change your mind too. But after you text, I want you to pull out your phones. I want you to text Luke. What's your interest level on being on staff or hearing more about the details? Put down Interested, not interested. And if you put interested, put a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is like, Jeff, you had me at hello. What movie?
Oh, Shark Tale.
Wrap it up. Get the hell out. Are you kidding me? What movie? You get out of here.
I know.
Jerry Maguire.
Fired.
Jerry Maguire.
I know.
Tom Cruise. Cuba Gooding Jr.
They won't have-
Josie, you had me at hello. What movie? Mila, you had me at hello. Jerry Maguire, get out of here. Everyone get out of this office. Son of a gun.
He even told you, and you still don't have it.
I know.
If I already know my school schedule, should I send that to you?
Yeah, if you have the school schedule, send it. And here's what I will say with the school schedule. All right. After you send that first, send the text to Luke, and then I'm gonna do one last thing. School schedule. I'll give you some deadlines here. We will be making decisions for staff. Okay. Sorry, keep texting. You guys done? Okay. I want you to write this in your planners. David, you can mark this down too as well, and make sure Luke gets it on text. August 1st, the Wednesday team meeting after SC2. That's when we'll make our decisions as to who we're going to bring on to staff and start working on schedules. Okay. So if you're really looking to be on staff and you say 9 or 10, but you don't have a good push or you don't follow through or work hard all the way to the end, then that's not going to happen. So make sure you're having a good push. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to be number one. It just means I have to see the push effort all the way through. And on the 1st, we're going to have a local meeting. David, you can send me a WhatsApp to remind me. We're going to have a local meeting for all the people that are being accepted for staff on Wednesday. Times to be determined. Okay, times to be determined. Probably like right before phone jam. What time would that be? Like a 5 o'clock? Yeah. So you can put roughly 4 to 6, roughly 4 to 6 on Wednesday. And David, you can WhatsApp that to me. Okay. If you are selected for staff, you can write the second thing down. You will start shadowing week of the 6th. You'll shadow for 2 weeks. You'll shadow Josie, Mila, Malcolm, Erica, David, and Luke around your selling. And then staff would start on August the 20th. All that you can just text me, okay? So I'll stop there to get you out of here. Any questions? Any direct questions first, and then I'll have you wrap up with biggest light bulb. What do you appreciate? Okay. So ready? If you put low, not interested, by the way, I won't be offended. This is an information session. If you put high interest, look, I mentioned that. Oh, here. So I just want you to be sure that you know this is a spot that has to be earned. Okay. And I'm really excited because, I'm not excited that the whole staff is practically leaving us. Malcolm's gone. Luke is gone. Josie Mila is gone. The only one who's still here, and she may not necessarily want to be on staff depending on her schedule, is Erica. So we might have a whole completely new staff, and I think that's awesome because you get a chance to. We're gonna really have to train you and get with it. And we also have some incoming people as well. Okay. Any questions now? Pretty straightforward. How about biggest light bulb? Either what you didn't know, what you're excited about, something like to that effect, and then what you appreciate. We'll go fast. Lewis, wrap us up.
Biggest light bulb is just the opportunities I am getting out of this because I just graduated high school, but my whole time during high school I was kind of living in the moment, not really knowing what I wanted to do in my future. But then once I started working here, I started figuring out more of what I want to do. And
what do you appreciate that? I guess
I just appreciate the opportunities that I've been given through this job.
Cool. And here's what's really interesting. You don't know this yet, but many of you are going to be on staff, and 1 year from now, there'll be like 4 or 5 of you running an office for yourself, and 2 or 3 of you will be here on staff for the summer for whoever comes in and runs this office. I mean, that's really fun to think about. And 1 or 2 of you might be a full-time CSP and tutor under Andy and Taylor Max. That's pretty cool. Quickly.
Oh.
Light bulb?
Light bulb it's pretty doable. I mean, just looking at your like who's already done it, it's pretty doable, especially with the chance that you have.
Yeah. And what do you appreciate?
I appreciate. Well, before all this, I was really just not even thinking about college. I wanted to just do my traveling, but now it's like I can really invest myself into this. It's a whole long story.
Beautiful. We'll talk later. I can't wait to hear
I
it.
can do a lot about it.
Good. We'll help you with that.
I love that my fall is completely free, so I can focus myself once I do get in.
And what do you appreciate?
I appreciate just this.
Okay, good.
Honestly, mine are both the same. It's like it kind of hit me today. It's like how fast you can actually grow within the company and as a person. You know, just being at the opportunity to be a dom by fall. Like
that's
like
cool.
I knew it was like you grow fast in the company, but it's like it's now just hitting how that can happen.
Oh, and David, to his point, one more thing. Just make sure also text me dom position by October, November. So what will happen is that of all the part-time and full-time assistants, when we get to October, November, we'll promote one person to make a little bit more on the office and have that much more responsibility. Cool.
So biggest light bulb is definitely the fact that starting in the fall, you'll have the experience before people who have to start in the winter on winter break, and doing a lot more there. And then what I appreciate is being invited to this meeting so I can find out all of this extra stuff.
Yeah, and we need everything, like a part-time assistant, full-time assistant. A selling assistant is a little bit different. Selling assistant makes it like very, very even less percentage than that, sometimes no percentage. But what they're doing is they're just field training people. Okay.
The light bulb is how many hours you actually have to put into the week, which is not a lot, so it's really doable, especially with school.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate how the company has like its own saving account.
Oh yeah, we make that happen. Manage money, right?
Yeah, the big light bulb is one, the amount of money so I can pay for all my stuff and still go to school and even have free time on top of that. And what I appreciate is the opportunities that this business gives you to grow really quickly.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate your advice on tinting. Thank you.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
I'm glad I called you because I was going to go with the dark one. I was going to look like a wannabe rapper. I like that. Josie, you so watch this. Josie was rep last year, but she went away to school. She went to the University of South Carolina in Columbia, South Carolina. But she ended up becoming one of these in that office. Can you talk 10 to 20 seconds on the advantages that you had and why that helped you where you are now and where you want to go?
So throughout TLA, we learned a lot of the management side of everything. So being able to kind of do a pilot run, if you will, in the South Carolina office, I kind of got to put everything I learned into action. So by the time I came here, I already had a better idea of what I needed to do and what needed to be done and what could be improved on.
Well, so that was the whole we do things before everyone else in TLA. How about you, Mila? You were at UF doing the same thing?
It was really good way to implement everything we were learning, put it into action, and be able to perfect it before the summer got started.
Sweet. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time today. Biggest thing I can tell you, advice if you're interested, is just crush the push. And the more you crush the push, Luke and I will make decisions right after the push. Like the Monday, Tuesday after, we'll decide. And that Wednesday, we'll be meeting with those of you that were excited to help start shadowing. Cool?
Cool.
Nice work. All right, everyone, get out of here. Get out of here.